Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Today I want to talk about Tower of God. Why? Because it's coming back soon. The hiatus is almost over. I made a video on Wang Nan I think last week. So I want to do another character. I was actually going to do a video on somebody else like Gray or some shit, but I'm going to figure that out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I got to drop a few videos tomorrow. So we're going to figure it out tomorrow. But today, man, that's what I want to talk about. Yuri. I feel like sometimes, cliche is the right answer. Sometimes I know a lot of authors, creators, writers, including myself, sometimes want to avoid the cliche by any means necessary. And sometimes that's just not the best decision for the story. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Yuri Jahad is one of those characters that I don't know, she so we meet her and we don't really get any development with her at all. We've gotten more development with Wang Nan, who we don't meet until season 2. Then Yuri, who we meet in like the first 2-3 chapters, first two chapters of the story, first chapter of the story, she's there. You know what I'm saying? And yet 500 chapters later, we know more about Wang Nan, more about Prince, more about goddamn so many characters than her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not Prince, but like, there's a lot of characters we know, or at least we've grown to be more attached to. We've had more screen time with, we've had more development with, right? The very same Yuri Jahad we meet in the first level is pretty much the same Yuri Jahad that we have in the current chapters. Obviously, she fights Karaka, but ultimately, I don't know. For Princess, she seems to be a lot stronger than the other princesses, of course. But she already finished climbing the tower, so she ought to be a lot stronger than the other princesses. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't seem that powerful, right? This is one of my things. I don't want to spend time complaining about this, the power system in Tower of God and why it's not consistent. But simultaneously, I feel like I can forgive the power thing. I can forgive her not being as strong as I thought she would be. Her and Karaka both. I feel like both of them. I don't know. I saw the fight and it was like, it just was like I wasn't blown away. Like, damn, this motherfucker strong. Like these dudes strong. Like when I saw Rand, like Rand and Rand and what's her name, Anak. Bro, when they fight, I'm like, damn, that's saucy, boy. Oh. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn. Maybe I just didn't get that feeling from that fight. So it's not necessarily them not being strong, more so like the fighting style being boring, right? I think that's maybe it. The fighting style is boring as shit. And I think that's probably the issue with the higher levels of the tower. The powers have become explosions, which I don't think is as entertaining as two swords clashing, fists flying, like, you know what I'm saying? To me at least. But yeah. Anyway, the more important thing is her character development. So when we meet Yuri, we know that she's somebody kind of important because she's getting away with murder. We later discover that she's the princess of Jahad, and there's a few of them, and they're really, really powerful, and they get given a 13-month April, and they're basically destined to kill each other, keeping the cycle so that nobody moves on, right? The 13 Aprils is a part of the key, and a princess that controls all the 13 April gets to get some shit. I can't remember exactly what it is. You can comment that down below, but they get something special. I think they get to go to the next level of the tower, or they get power boost, they get whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the job of princess, is technically to get all of them. But this is really just a cycle to keep them addicted to power and loyal to Jahad himself. Some princesses that ended up controlling at least 2 of the 13 months ended up losing their minds. They lost control. We know that they're cursed. Essentially, women are cursed to not be able to deal with it. Most of the 13 months don't fuck with, especially the black marsh. You know what I'm saying? It don't fuck with females. You know what I'm saying? It likes guys, and it's kind of like a trap, basically. You try to figure out how to use this thing, but it's you really falling deeper and deeper into the hole of, damn it, Jahad, I need that power. You know what I'm saying? And I like that aspect of it. I like that aspect of it. I was disappointed when she couldn't control two of the 13 Aprils, but I think ultimately for the story it was the right decision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that decision. I think it was a good decision. I don't know about the execution of it, but I think it was ultimately the better decision. Maybe she can do it later on. Maybe she'll never do it, but I think it was the best decision at least for that time. But in terms of her character, I feel like personality wise, she's a fun, outgoing person. But she can be very serious. She's very vicious when she needs to be, very assertive when she needs to be. But we don't really know too much about her, right? We know about Anak's parents, and we know about how Anak came to be and why, she's a fake princess. She's the only fake princess in the tower, and she has the 13 months, which, Yuri took from her. She had the 13 months, which Yuri took from her. And, so that was like an intriguing thing. I thought that was really cool. So she got that like backstory, whatever. We know that Yuri's from the Ha family, and she was pretty much destined to be a princess, etc., etc. But I feel like throughout the story we don't get to see what caused her to go against Jahad per se. Like, there's no real motivation, right? She's a part of not Fog, but she's with the other crew, which is Mazzino's crew. Yurik Mazzino, she's with his crew. I can't remember the name. There's too many goddamn factions and names and shit in the thing, so my bad for that. But basically, she's a part of that crew, right? So, and they're against Jahad, but they're not as extreme as Fog. They're not as vicious as Fog, and they're more free about it. Like, you're not forced to join them. You're not forced to do things. They don't have a savior. They just like trying to figure out the nicest way to do it without harming too many people. While Fog is like, create chaos, just fucking do it. Swords fucking swinging, let's fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this ultimate needle and blast him. That's our only hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Fog. Fog is like a fucking militia. Like, they just ready to fight 24/7. While the other crew, though, like, we gonna try to get more allies, create factions, and just take over floors slowly and build up power, and eventually challenge Jahad, or figure out a way to change the tower in a more meaningful, more subtle, different type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know her motivation for that. She's from the Ha family, so she's from the 10 family. So, we know that the other princess who watches everything and her are very close, but we don't really know why they're very close, per se. Like, we get inklings of stuff. I mean, I just feel like for 500 chapters, right? So I know it sounds like, wait, we have a lot of information about her. Yes, but if you consider how many chapters, I know she's not in that much of it, but if you consider how long the story has been going for, I feel like we should know a little bit more. But I still fuck with her character. I still fuck with what they're doing with her, to be honest with you. My only disappointment was her initial obsession with Bam. Actually, her obsession with Bam is still a bit annoying, especially considering which faction she's from, right? Bam is important, but to them isn't like a savior type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's great if we have him, but, I don't know. I felt like some of her actions and her resolves was a bit weird. Like, how she pulled up to the Hell Train was kind of stupid, because you're giving yourself away for the sake of a kid that isn't even on your side, really. I don't know, it just felt a bit, even her giving him the black marsh at the start, like, it makes sense now, because, she's with this clan, and this clan's trying to do this, but it also seems a little bit reckless, but it makes sense, at least, to take that risk then, because this kid will end up owing me. We can utilize that to get him on our side. But now this kid is on the other side, and obviously they're still helping him. Mazzino also helped him, so it does actually make sense, to be honest. It makes sense, but I feel like if you look at Mazzino's actions, right, it's more subtle. It's not so in your face. Mazzino didn't pull up to the Hell Train and kill the person in charge of the train, right? And he kind of let Bam do his own thing, but because Bam was in his floor type shit, that's why he gave Helljo the power. He took that shit away. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that makes more sense for Mazino to you know, his actions. Mazino's actions make hella sense. Well, I feel like Yuri's actions make sense, but they feel forced. If that makes sense, right? They still make sense, but they feel forced. I don't know. But I love Yuri. Just to let you all know, I love Yuri. She's one of my favorite characters in the tower. But I feel like she's underdeveloped because I feel like the obsession with Bam, it feels more. I don't know. It's not like a, oh, I need to use him for power. Like, it's like we know that's why it is, but it doesn't come across that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just like, okay. I don't know. It's just, it's weird. There's something weird about it. I can't put my finger into it. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all, actually, most of y'all, probably all of y'all would disagree with me, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, we all about that controversy. But yeah, I still fuck with Yuri. I think that she, her role is a bit ambiguous, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that's it. I think maybe that's my problem with her development. Sorry, it took me a minute to get to it, but I think my problem with her development is her role in the story, right? We can see Mazino as one of the fighting forces, right? And her as a member of that. But him being somebody that met Jahad, right? And being somebody that also didn't, like, essentially beat the strongest 10 family head, right? And was besting him, like, and him also having a plan to foil Jahad, but in a different way. It makes sense because he's an irregular, and we also have to establish that there are a few irregulars, and Bam isn't the only one, and some of them are super crazy powerful, and others not quite as powerful, but they're all insanely powerful, right? I think that's great. I think that's all great. I think for Mazino, it makes sense for the arc and the story, and for us to get clarity and understand irregulars more, because obviously Bam, we can't, if we keep learning with Bam, we're never gonna get to really know irregulars until maybe towards the end of the goddamn story, which is, you know, too frustrating. It's too long. You know what I'm saying? So I think it makes sense to have somebody like a Mazino show up, to even have like the Enryu and all those guys, phantaminum, all of those. I think it makes sense. Yuri to be as entrenched into the story, like her being as character is fine, but her being as entrenched in the story is a little bit off for me, because it's like, what's her role? Like, what's she going to do in the future, right? You can tell what Karaka is going to do. Karaka is going to help Bam grow, and he's also one of the secret kids of Jahad, or the secret prince of Jahad, that's going to have something to do with defeating Jahad, right? What's Yuri's role? To control the 13 Aprils? Is that potentially it? But it doesn't seem likely, considering she couldn't control 2 of them. How the fuck is she going to get to a stage where she can control 13 of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems a bit far-fetched considering what we've seen thus far. So what's she gonna do? Like, she's not that powerful, right? She can't beat Karaka, right? They were drawing, and we know that Karaka only fights with his husk. Essentially, he's never really there full powered and ready to kung fu chop. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening? Like, what's her role? I think that's what I want to know. We know Karaka's role. We know Mazino's role. Essentially, we know almost every character's role. Even Shibusi, we know that they're gonna be the helpers, you know what I'm saying? The people that do stuff that the main characters don't have time to do, you know what I'm saying? So the main characters do all the main goals, the main story arc to get to Jahad, but Shibusi and them do all the side stories to kind of fill in the gaps of how did they get in this intel, how did they do this, how did they get here, how did they know about this. Shibusi and his crew fill in that role. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to have Shibusi and that crew. Wang Nan, we know what his role is going to be already, so it makes sense to have him. Yuri, I'm still very uncertain. Now, I know initially to connect maybe Jahad directly to Bam, that could be it. But what do you guys think her main role in the story is going to be, right? I think that's what I really want to know. There's not, I think, as much clarity with her role in the story as there is for essentially everybody else. And I think that's kind of my worry with Yuri. I want the author to focus a bit more on her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she should be a lot more important than she's been. Now, I understand the story has so many fucking characters. We can't give everybody the time straight away, right? We spent a few hundred chapters with Wang Nan, so obviously we know Wang Nan. We spent hella chapters with Karaka. Obviously we feel more connected with Karaka, but we only spend sporadic times with Yuri. right? So because it's so sporadic, every now and then we spend like 5-6 chapters, every now and then it's like 5-6 chapters, we don't really get a full scope, a full grasp. And even when we learn a little bit here, we might forget it by the time we see her again. And I think maybe the author needs to give a moment of her, you know what I'm saying, tell her story, you know what I'm saying. But that's just my take on it. But I still love Yuri Jahad. Like, I just want to talk about Yuri Jahad because I like Yuri Jahad. And since the story's coming back, I really want to see her play a more active role. Because obviously she's not in the war right now. She is, but she's not. Because again, like, if... Like, that's the thing as well. Like, she's... I don't know. She's willing to go to some crazy lengths considering her... The team that she's a part of isn't taking part in this war. It's kind of interesting. I want to know more about her motivations, more of her whys, and etc. You know what I'm saying? We know that Conor Guerrero is just a rebellious kid, and he got a liking to Bam, and his reasoning is pretty fucking simple. He doesn't really fancy the 10 great families or the way of the tower as it is anyway. He likes causing a little bit of mischief and havoc, you know what I'm saying? And if and he wants to stick by Bam and see what would Bam do when he reaches a certain height, when he reaches a certain power scale, when he reaches a certain level, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably do one on Conor Guerrero, I'll probably do one on Shibusi, I'll probably do one on loads of characters. I think this Tower of God probably has the cast that I like the most out of any manga, anime, webtoon, right? Whatever. I think it has the most people that I like. I think Naruto has a lot, but it's like maybe like, okay, we have Itachi, we have Sasuke, we have I like Sakura. We're crazy. Sakura, we have Shikamaru, we have Rock Lee, we have, I said Itachi already, I'm pretty sure. We have Obito, obviously the GOAT, we have Kakashi, Pain, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of characters I like there, but okay, maybe, yeah, so nah, this does not have the most characters I like. He has one of the most characters I like. The total number of characters I like is very high. Okay, it's maybe like second most. I say maybe second most because I like essentially the whole cast apart from Bam. I don't really like Bam, but I love everybody else essentially, right? To varying degrees. But yeah, anyway, what do you guys think? I don't know, of Yuri? Comment down below. This video is way longer than anticipated, but yeah, here you have a video, okay? It's been your boy Supreme God. Make sure to leave a like, comments, and subscribe. We're almost 700. We're only 22 subs away. I know we got the South, so let's get these numbers. I'm out.
I got friends now. You ain't know, but I got friends now. I'm balling out with my friends now. You ain't know, but I got friends now.